Growing up, I was always seen as a kind of quiet kid. People would often refer to me as sort of shy, or ask why I didn't particularly get involved, conversations or banter. I remember one time in school, someone protested that they didn't want to sit with me just because I wasn't as banterous as their mates. This caused me to put a lot of pressure on myself, and a lot of my self-worth was then associated with kind of doing well at school, and doing really well in my studies. And because of that, looking back on it, I can clearly quite see that any kind of dips in sort of academics or any highs could really relate to my mood at the time. I remember doing really well in my A-levels and I felt amazing about it. But the previous year I didn't do so well in my first AS exams, and I just felt like the world was crushing down on me. This then manifested itself in uni as I was no longer the best person in the year at chemistry. I was just one of 200 people that were quite good, but I was never the best again. I was just average, really. I felt quite anxious because of this. I've always felt anxious. I've always been anxious to speak out loud. I was always anxious to answer in class. I was anxious to socialise with people I knew and people who I didn't know. But when I came to university, it was so easy to hide away in my room, especially during sort of Freshers' Week and the first term where it's so important. I'd kind of hide away, and that massively affected me in terms of my mood, until eventually, about a year and a bit ago, I went to a really dark place in my life. I had a pretty good exam period in June of 2017. I did quite well in my exams when I didn't think I would, so I felt pretty good after that. Then I moved home for the summer, and in between getting a job and seeing my friends from home, I was basically just doing nothing with my time. I'd play video games and sleep in, basically. This caused me to really fall down in my mood, as my anxiety was really bad and I just feel anxious all the time. This manifested in itself in many ways where I'd take it out in anger against myself. I used to punch myself in the face, just like that, or just punching walls. And I was so worried that I'd punch someone else that I would just hide. Combine this with not doing anything, having a pretty rough home situation at the time, and a relationship on the rocks that was about to break up. I came very close to taking my own life. It was at that point that I sought help from the university system. I was quite lucky in the fact that I sought help in the summer when counselling was relatively free, and it also helped that I was quite a high risk individual, so I was seen relatively quickly. And I think that if I hadn't been seen as quickly as I would have done, I don't really know if I'd be here today. After starting antidepressants and starting counselling, I was on the road to recovery. However, I don't think I was seen enough from counselling. I was only given 6 sessions, which really didn't let me open up to the counsellor as much as I could have done. I think she was a lovely woman who wanted the best for me, but I just needed more, I think. We never got to anything particularly deep, and anything that was touched on that was deep was kind of brushed off because we didn't have time for it. Come the new academic year in 2017, I sort of drank my way out of my problems, basically. I used to get drunk and punch my wall and hide. It was at this point I met someone who's now one of my close friends. She suggested I join the Healthy Mind scheme, as I've often found that exercise has been really good for my mental health. Through this, I got a lot better. I was given a mentor in the form of the scheme's founder and runner of Pete Burrows, who's been incredible. I think it was just incredibly helpful for me to have a kind of fatherly figure within the university who wanted the best for me and who genuinely cared about me. And I think that was incredible for me, and that really helped me get my life back, basically. Combined with the fact that I was now doing things that I really enjoyed, like cycling and being in the gym for the first time. Well, being confident in the gym for the first time in my life, because I was then given the tools to sort of not feel like I was doing something completely wrong. I think that really has all really helped me get myself back together. And I now wish that I'd sort of sort myself out sooner. I've always kind of just gotten along. And I think that if I was given the knowledge or the tools to look after myself before, I wouldn't have gotten to such a dark place. I never thought I was anxious because I occasionally was able to do quite brave things. I never got anxiety attacks through just thinking, and I never really self-harmed myself. But what I did do was I got incredibly angry, and I think that was just as much as part of the anxiety as anything else was. I also didn't think I would ever be depressed because I had such a great life, relatively speaking. I was from quite a good family, and I was doing well academically. I didn't think it was possible for me to be like that. But at the end of the day, I was, and I just wasn't able to spot it.